Video, we will do a recap of the evaluation system for teaching staff. By the end of this overview, you will be familiar with the components of the teacher evaluation system, how each of them is measured, and how they are weighted to produce your final score. You will also understand how that final score translates into an annual salary increase band. The teacher evaluation process is made up of 4 components: goal attainment, core competency assessment, teaching strategies framework assessment, and the final score and summary reflections that bring everything together. This system is built on the same foundation as all other IP staff: goals and competencies that combine to determine a final score. Goals represent the what, and competencies represent the how of your work. Teachers have 2 kinds of competencies. The first are the 6 core competencies that every IP staff member is held to. The second are the competencies from the teaching strategy framework, which evaluate classroom practice. Now let's provide a little more information on goals. Teachers set 3 goals: 2 performance goals and 1 learning and development goal. The 2 performance goals are set by Academy principals and are aligned to student outcome assessments for your teaching role. Principals also select fall and spring benchmarks aligned to those assessments, and those benchmarks are what is used to determine your score on your fall and spring evaluation on these goals. Your learning development goal is set collaboratively between you and your manager. It is tied to an indicator from either the core competencies framework or the teaching strategies framework. Goals are scored using a 1 to 5 scale, where 3 is not an option for a score. Why is there no rating of 3 in the goal evaluation scale? The goal rating scale was intentionally designed to create clearer differentiation between almost meeting an individual goal by assigning a greater point value, 4 out of 5 points, for goals that are met versus 2 out of 5 points for goals that are almost met. Now let's talk a little bit about core competencies. Competencies capture the how of performance. Like all staff, teachers are evaluated on the same 6 core competencies you see here. Each of these competencies is scored on a 1 to 5 scale. They reflect in their totality what high quality, mission-aligned work looks like at Ingenuity Prep, regardless of what role you are playing in the organization. In addition to the core competencies, teachers are also evaluated on the teaching strategies framework. This framework is specific to classroom practice, and it is organized into 4 teaching competencies: supportive community, content and rigor, student thinking, and feedback and academic mastery. Each of these competencies is also scored on a 1 to 5 scale based on observational trends over the course of the time period leading up to the evaluation window. Your final score on your evaluation is a weighted average of each component's score. Let's look at how the weighting works. Goals are worth 30% of your total score, 10% for each of the 3 goals. Core competencies are worth 30% of your total score, 5% for each of the 6 core competencies. And the teaching strategies framework is worth 40% of your total score, 10% for each of the 4 TSF competencies. Here is an example of how this works in practice for a teacher. Each section produces its own score. Those scores are then weighted: 30% for goals, 30% for core competencies, and 40% for the teaching strategies framework. Each of these combine into the final score shown here. Each spring, the final percentage score is then translated into one of Ingenuity Prep's salary increase bands that are shown here. The percentage score is the final score. It does not get converted into a performance category. These are the same bands used across all staff.